All right, today we're jumping into a really fascinating piece of writing called The Sun in a Black Hole. It all kicks off with one simple question that, believe me, reveals a huge truth about how we see value in the world around us.
So let me ask you this. Think about a standard 100-watt light bulb. It's a fixed amount of energy, right? So why does it sometimes look really bright and other times kind of dim? How is that even possible? Well, the answer is way more interesting than you think.
And that question leads us right into a brilliant little thought experiment. It's super simple, but it perfectly shows how one tiny change in our environment can totally flip our perception of reality.
Okay, so picture this. You've got two rooms. Room A has these crisp white walls. You screw in that 100-watt bulb and bam, it feels incredibly bright. You're seeing its full value. Now take that exact same bulb and put it in room B. But this room, it's covered in black, light-sucking cloth. Suddenly, that powerful bulb seems weak, maybe like a measly 15-watt bulb. The bulb itself didn't change one bit. The only thing that changed was its surroundings. And that's the core idea right there. The brightness we actually see isn't just about the source, it's all about reflection. Without a surface to bounce off, the light's potential is basically lost. Its value might exist, but for all intents and purposes, it can't be seen. So now that we've got this idea about light and reflection, get ready for a big jump. The author takes this simple concept from a small room and blows it up to a cosmic scale. This is where things get really mind-bending. I want you to imagine a sun, a massive, blazing star just pumping out unbelievable amounts of energy. But it exists inside a black hole. Since a black hole is a total void, there's absolutely nothing for the sun's rays to hit, nothing to reflect off of. So what happens? Well, the sun is still burning just as brightly, but its light has nowhere to go. It becomes completely invisible. From the outside, all you see is darkness.
And this quote from the author, Zhu Feng, just hits the nail on the head. The problem isn't that the source of value is gone. The sun is still there. The problem is the lack of a medium to perceive it. The sun is blazing, but its light is effectively meaningless.
And this is where the whole idea really opens up, because this isn't just a physics lesson. The author argues that this very same principle applies to almost everything we consider valuable, from groundbreaking ideas to our deepest emotions. Think about it. Say you have a revolutionary idea, a truly brilliant one, but if you never share it, or you present it to people who just can't grasp it, well, it's just like that sun in the black hole. The idea exists, sure, but it has zero impact. It's worthless. The same goes for deep spiritual truths, like the Tao. The author points out that this way could be all around us, but if a person's mind is closed off or narrow, they simply can't perceive it. The reflector just isn't there.
And maybe most powerfully, this applies to love. If you feel a deep, profound love for someone but you never express it, or if it's directed at someone who just can't receive it, that love stays buried. It becomes an unseen light.
So then the author flips this whole idea into some really practical and honestly kind of paradoxical advice. If value needs to be reflected to even exist in a meaningful way, then hoarding it is the absolute worst thing you can possibly do.
And he doesn't mince words about it. Holding on to your value, whether it's an idea, a talent, or your love, and never putting it out into the world to be reflected is a surefire way to make it worthless. You're just letting it turn to garbage. To make this point, he tells a great little story about a poker game. So imagine you're dealt a fantastic hand. You've got the winning cards right there. But you get cautious. You wait for that perfect moment to play them, but you wait too long. The game moves on, the moment passes, and your amazing cards are now completely useless. By trying to save them, you lost everything and only ended up helping your opponent. That poker story is a perfect example of how hoarding value can just completely backfire. And it leads to this fascinating conclusion. For things like energy, ideas, and love, the normal rules of scarcity just don't apply. It's a paradox. The more creative energy you use, the more you find you actually have. Sharing an idea doesn't make it smaller. It makes it grow as it reflects off other minds. And of course, the more love you give, the more you tend to get back.
So, this all builds to a really direct and provocative choice that the author puts in front of every single one of us. It's a fundamental question about the role you choose to play in the world.
After all this, we're forced to look at our own lives and just ask, what role are we playing? Are we a source of light, or are we a surface that reflects it?
The author lays out two noble paths. Path number one, be the sun. Be a source of energy, of new ideas, of love. But if you choose this, you have a responsibility. You have to position yourself among people who can reflect your light back. Otherwise, you're just a sun in a black hole. Path 2 is to be the reflector. Become a clear, receptive, pure surface that can amplify the light of others. Make yourself like that white wall from the start so you can brilliantly reflect the value that comes your way.
And we end with this pretty stark and powerful warning. The author suggests that the only true failure in life is to be neither one, to not create value and to not reflect it, to just exist as a dark, non-reflective substance. It's a final, thought-provoking question for all of us. In the grand scheme of things, are we contributing to the light, or are we just part of the darkness?